You want to make a book, but you hate technology. Can you still do it? Hello there, Space Cat chums. It's Jules here with another drawing and publishing video. And this time, it kind of covers both things. If you are writing and illustrating stories for children, or if you just love to draw for a bit of peace and quiet, then I'm here for you. Me too! The question I wanted to investigate today is, can you still produce a book if you don't have the technology? Essentially, can you make a book with pencil and paper? Of course you can! Yay! I suppose it depends on what you imagine the outcome might be. If you think you're going to be a #1 bestseller on the Amazon marketplace, this might not be a realistic goal. But perhaps you are making a book for your children or your grandchildren or your community, which in this case, it is perfectly possible. You might not have the right software or even a computer at all. You might not have a printer or a scanner at home, but you might have an amazing idea. Here is what I would do if I wanted to make a book without tech. Step 1. Plan out your story so you know what is going on each page. This is known as thumbnail layouts. It doesn't have to be detailed. It doesn't have to include all the text or all the illustrations. It's more like a map of your story. It has more to do with the rhythm of the narrative than the details. This will help you decide how many pages you will need. A traditional picture book will have 32 pages, of which 24 to 26 of those will be the active story. And the others will be made of title pages, end pages, and copyright or imprint pages. If you are making a very short print run, you won't necessarily need all of these other than the inside title page. And you really do need something inside your cover and not just open the book to be confronted with the first page of the story. It's just an aesthetic thing and a convention that we're used to. Have a look at the books that you have at home or in your local library for inspiration on how the book is laid out. Step 2. Once you have this sorted out, you can start work on the full-size layouts. Don't skip this step and fall headlong into making the pages. It's where you can work out all the problems and the flaws. Take your pencil and some transparent-ish paper. I use layout paper. Decide how big your pages are going to be and stick to it. Write the dimensions down somewhere so you can refer back to them. Measure up a template page that you can trace through on your paper and start your ideas for layouts. Where will the text go? On the opposite page or on the same page? If it's on the same page, you will need to make enough space for the text. You don't want text over important bits of illustration. For one thing, it will be difficult to read. Start to draw a rough of your illustration and make sure your text will fit in the space that you've left. If you are not using a computer, it's likely that your text will be handwritten. Now, ask yourself, is your handwriting legible and attractive? If not, do you know anyone who could do this for you? Perhaps there is no text at all and your story is told through a series of pictures. You'll still need to have text on your cover for your title and your author name. It's worth taking your time over this stage and changing things as you go along before you get to the point of making your final artwork. Step 3. You've completed all of your layouts. Yippee! It might have taken you quite a few weeks. That's okay. Keep up your momentum. You're going to need some energy now to work through your final pieces. Now is the time to decide on what medium you will be using. It might be pencils, paint, chalks, marker pens. Heck, it could be shoe polish or pigments made from berries if you're really keen. Make sure you get the right paper. If you're using paint, you will need to buy watercolour paper or thick acrylic paper. If you're using marker pens, use marker paper. I'm usually quite methodical about my artwork. I start at the beginning, and that way I know what my characters look like and can remain consistent through the whole process. In fact, it's a really good idea to do some character studies before you start. Character studies don't have to be perfect pieces of art. They are more like a key with an idea for the colouring and the clothing. You can write little notes about them on the piece and keep it pinned up nearby your workstation so that you can refer back to them. Work your way through all of the pages, including the cover and the title page, and the end pages if you have them. Make sure you add your text and make double sure there are no mistakes by lightly penciling the words in first and getting them checked. Really, get someone else to check, because it's a common problem to have writer's blindness when it comes to your own work. Said from a place of experience. Ugh. This stage will take the longest. Take your time, enjoy the process. It often takes me around 4 months to complete picture book artwork. Step 4. Hurrah! You have finished all of your artwork, but it doesn't really look like a book yet. It looks like a series of pictures. This is where you would normally use your technology, but we are going to have to get a bit inventive. I have 3 suggestions for you. Number 1. If you have the budget, it is possible to get in touch with a printer and ask them if you can send them the original artwork for them to scan in and make into a book. That's exactly how author illustrators and printers used to work before digital files came along. That way you can get a small print run and have copies to give out or sell. But perhaps your project is a bit smaller and you just don't have the money to spend on it. That leads us on to number 2. You could get your pages photocopied, either in full colour or in black and white. Use the thickest quality paper that you have on offer. Then cut them down to size and glue the pages together. Just use enough glue to keep them together without buckling. Your cover needs to be just a few millimetres bigger, and make sure you include enough space for the spine. When you have glued all of your pages together, you can measure the depth so you know how big your spine needs to be. Then put some glue in the spine, slide your book in and weigh it down overnight until it is well stuck. Number 3. Maybe you are just making one copy for someone really special. Perhaps it's for your child or your grandchild. I would suggest when you are deciding which medium to use, you choose something that you can use on thick paper. For example, you could use smooth 140-pound watercolour paper for watercolour paints or soluble pencils or pens or graphite pencil or acrylic paint. Buy yourself a pad which is the right size or near enough to it. You might have to adjust your size expectations for this, but it will be really worth it in the long run. By purchasing the pad, you have pages that are the same size already. Fold the pages in half. You can score one side to make this easier. Make a blank book before you start any illustrations. Once you have done this, you can start your artwork and text, and you can use both sides of the paper. This can be a little bit risky because things can go wrong and you might need to start the page again. If you've already completed the reverse side of that page, it can be very annoying. But there are usually ways to rectify the situation, whether it's painting over it or whether it's inserting a fresh blank page and gluing it over the top of the wrong one. When you have completed all the pages, you can either glue them together or better still, go all out and stitch them together like old-fashioned bookmakers might do. It really does make an amazing result and completely one-off. 3 ways to bring your book idea together. Now, the question is, what can I do with it? Well, you can give your one and only copy to your loved one, wrapped up in paper and given with lots of love. Or you could give out copies to your community or group, or sell them at a market stall. You could also sell them online, either on your own website or via a marketplace like Facebook or Amazon. But you won't be able to sell print on demand because they are physical books and not digital files. I really hope this has given you some ideas and inspiration. I don't think that not having the right software or a computer should prevent you from doing and creating something absolutely wonderful. And something from your heart that needs to be said. Remember, for thousands of years, we told stories around a fire. And then for hundreds more years, we produced books without computers. So just imagine the possibility and find a way to do it. If you'd like further artist tutorials, I have a variety of short courses that will help you. There are real-time sessions looking at painting, drawing and marker pens, among others. And if you're keen on producing your own book, there is a more in-depth course on what you need to know about self-publishing a book with illustrations. That covers making key decisions, how to make layouts and dummy books, rhythm and pacing, as well as several tutorials on illustrating a book and a look at the tech. You can either hop over to my website or join me on Patreon for more information. Go on, give it a go! Next week I will be drawing along to The Town Mouse and the Country Mouse, a story that I remember from my own childhood. I am definitely a country mouse. I'm off to Chinna Chinchilla. I will see you next week. Nanu nanu.